Welcome to Nintendo Ninja News. I'm your host, Chris Tysis, and I can tell that the sunlight is coming in a bit here, so apologies for the light being a bit dark and dimmed, but I think 98% of the time the room is brightly coloured, so we normally don't do videos in the afternoon. So it's another Nintendo Ninja News show. We did one yesterday, and there's been a lot of news coming in for us. We've got a new fan page, which has gotten over 530 likes in the first couple of weeks. We're obviously going to GamerCon in the next few weeks. Nintendo Ninja News has hit 60,000 views, which is excellent. So there's been a lot of sort of success stories happening at the same time, which has been very surprising and very cool. After June E3, we thought that it would be a long time before we might see good things happening and all that sort of stuff. And it's been a lot of fun to see that sort of stuff coming together. So I've been very happy about that. We may do another NNN show later on in the week. I don't know at this point, but it's been very interesting to say the least about how things are been going at this point. I've been busy working out what type of videos to do at the first convention, and I've also been trying to work out what would be the best way to navigate through September. There's a Nintendo Direct tomorrow night. I'm still trying to work out if the real Nintendo Direct or news of the new console reveal does happen in September. Everyone's been pointing at September at that point. I have myself, when they talked about it a long time ago this year. So there's been a lot of, for the show, we normally have a pretty flexible time frame in terms of doing videos and things like that, but now with a couple conventions coming up and Nintendo Direct and that, September could be a very, very busy month as that begins tomorrow. So it's going to be very busy. So the main news of the day is we are going to the Expo, Games Expo. This is a big news. We'll be covering as media. This is going to be a much bigger event than the Canberra event that I talked about last night, so I'm going to be a bit scared. Being in Sydney, it's going to be very interesting to say the least about what will be happening with that sort of thing. I am trying to figure out what would be the best way to do the EB Games Expo in terms of trying to put together videos and things like that. I will be there for the day. For Friday, so I don't think I'll be there for Saturday and Sunday, but it's going to be very interesting to say the least about what sort of videos I can do. I have no idea I'll be able to play the new Legend of Zelda. I didn't even think about it until someone's mentioned to me, "Oh, you're going to play the Breath of the Wild game," and I thought, well, I don't know. So a lot of things going through my mind about that. And of course, the EB Games Expo has been going around since, it's been going for many years, but 2011 was the first year where people were allowed to go in. It started on the Gold Coast, and nowadays it's seen, probably 40,000 people will be turning up to this latest one. Obviously, other companies, Sony, Microsoft, PlayStation VR will be there, all that sort of competitiveness will be there. Nintendo will obviously be there with The Legend of Zelda and a host of other games that they'll be showing off. I still get this feeling that this time next year will be more exciting with the new console released and games. Hopefully, March 2017 is still that release date. I feel like they have to make that date for some reason. It's been a lot of fun doing it, but it's going to be stressful while I'm doing these videos over the next month or so. And I feel like we've got still low subscribers, only 170 or so, but lots of views, of people watching and that. So, you know, there's an audience out there. We just need to find them. And I'll be going out promoting Nintendo Ninja News and hoping that we can keep working on it. So it's going to be very, very interesting, to say the least, about what the chances are and what we'll be able to do. Now, obviously, there will be some, you know, there will be some time restraints in that, and trying to work out the best videos to do. And I think with Nintendo Ninja News, we do want to cover the news there, but we also want to be talking to everyday Nintendo fans, like we talked about in the GammaCon video. Talking to them what their favorite games and consoles are, and cosplay and all that sort of thing. So it's really it's about providing the news, but also having that community vibe there, where you know, the fans will be definitely in the videos too, and see if we can maybe find people that we know at the EB Games Expo. So it's going to be very interesting for Nintendo Ninja News. It's a big thing. For us, these two conventions happening in the same month, I was hoping that they might have spread them out, and there's been some people talking to me about, oh, Chris, well, you've got to do the trifecta. Why don't you do PAX Australia? A few problems with that. Airline fees are too high. It would cost me a few $100s to do it. The other thing is, they're fairly more restricted on the content that you can provide and do in terms of that. So it's fairly more strict, and there's a sort of a list of things that you've got to pass and do. And I'm not too sure my channel would be like that, because the media registration kind of reads out that you've got to be a YouTube channel, but also running as a business. We don't run as a business, you know. We make no money. All the stuff behind me I've bought with my own cold hard cash, and so it's hard. Well, I don't even do a Patreon, despite some suggestions to do it. But yeah, it's hard doing a channel when you don't make the sort of the wage and all the salary to do it. So that's where the restrictions come in, and that's where the STIR grant from last year helped a lot, because it helped speed up the process. You know, I could have spent months and months sort of saving up for the microphone and camera and the digital camera that we've got, and the game capture card and all those sort of things, and all those areas. But that STIR grant helped us sort of skip quite a few steps ahead and get the ball rolling. So that's some of the challenges of doing these conventions. You know, it's going to be one of those. It's going to be awesome to be there, and also stressful trying to record the right videos and making sure the battery doesn't die, and I've got everything on me, and I'm finding the right people, and I'm getting there on time, but lucky you get to see just the end result, which is the happy stuff. So it's going to be a very interesting experience, and I hope that you will watch the videos as they come alive. And after this, we've got Pokemon in November, and then March, a new console. So the next 6 months is going to be, you know, some very exciting times, and I say some lean times too. You know, with October being a little quiet, and then maybe December being a little quiet for the Christmas rush too for Nintendo. So I'm going to cut the video off now. I've rambled on too much. But yes, I will be attending the EB Games Expo for 2016. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be very interesting, to say the least. So I'm going to go back to planning now. So that's it from me, and I'll see you later on.